Hello once again, freedom lovers. This is a special urgent bulletin going out to especially military veterans and all law enforcement in America. I'm not referring to the police, I'm referring to the people of America. When you have nothing but criminals at the top, it's up to the people to enforce the law. We all become private attorneys general in that process. Now, this is Mark Emery with the Lighthouse Law Club, and I've got some particularly impactful developments to share with you here today. There is a new movement afoot whereby it's operating on the premise most of us understand that when you walk into a courtroom, you see the yellow fringed flag. Most of us understand that is a military flag, and we're in Admiralty maritime jurisdiction. This has been clearly noted in Title V of the U.S. Code in years past. However, the criminals in control don't want you to know that. And so in recent years, they have removed those references from the more recent publications of the U.S. Code. But you can find that if you go back just a little bit in Title V of USC, that the gold fringed flag is a military flag, or a banner, I should say, to be more specific. And if you understand the law of the flag, you're essentially in Admiralty and Maritime, when you walk into that courtroom, you are boarding the ship of state that operates under that law, the law of the flag that is being represented. So, bottom line, you're walking into a military court. Now, some people are starting to learn some fascinating issues in law. And we're starting to see retired military veterans show up in court in full military dress, and depending on their rank in the military, even though they're retired, they can outrank the judge. And you know what that means. The military, with jurisdiction, venue, their oath of office being a contract, are in position to take control of that courtroom and to take control of that judge. This is powerful. And this is happening. It's been happening just recently. Military vets are starting to understand the power and the authority that they have. And when their brothers are in the courtroom, the military brass is showing up to hold that judge accountable to proper lawful process, which is becoming rare these days. So this is a very significant development. I'm going to share with you just some clips of a recent conversation that I had and let you in on some of the insights with that. So with that, let's hear that conversation.
Court systems that they've found out, they're finally catching on as to where their standing is in life. And now that they know they've got that kind of influence on the court system, since everything's underneath the military law anyways, they've been really putting the hammers on a lot of folks around here regarding how the courts are operating. And they're getting stronger.
What do you mean, who's been putting the hammer on who?
These retired vets.
Oh, okay.
The retired vets are going into these courtrooms. When one of their buddies are going into the courtroom, they're going in all full-fledged dressed and ornamented. In other words, they got all their symbols and tags and everything on their uniforms. They're fully dressed.
Good.
And the judges are starting to see things change or shift. And people are starting to recognize that the fact that if a guy comes in as a colonel or higher, he has a right to displace that judge and put somebody else there that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, since we're under military law anyway, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a gem, huh?
So they're just they're getting their feet wet with this, and they're going forward with it. They've had enough. Well, along that line of the retired vets doing their thing, believe it or not, I had received a report that the fact that the military, I think it's the MP division, has been brought online, and right now are in the process of arresting a certain number of banking institution upper echelons as they go. They're going in and cleaning house.
That's earth-shaking.
From what I was instructed was that's just the beginning.
Now, is this confirmed by someone in a position to know, or there's so much rumor floating around with stuff like this?
Yeah, I know there was so much rumor, and I'm waiting for him to give me some real names involved with the bank names. Right now, they just gave me that the heads up was what was starting this week.
Wow.
And as soon as he gets done doing his, because I take it partially the mere fact because he's involved in it.
Yeah, so he's got first-hand knowledge.
Banks and banker names.
Okay, good.
With those in hand, then I can confirm them real quick.
Yeah. Wow, that's earth-shaking.
So I'll be waiting for his information within the week or two, because he said it's a month due, but he's going to try to let me know in a couple of weeks of where things are standing. And in turn, they got to finding out that the vets have all this stroke, but never knew how to apply it because they weren't informed of their duties. Being all the courts are underneath all courts are underneath the military law anyways, have been since 1867. Judge Lincoln's there 1863, whichever it is, can't remember which one it is, but it's never been out from underneath it.
Yeah.
And since that is the case, what happens is if they come in there and they got guys that are in full dress uniforms that are up, and I'm not sure what rank where it comes into. I'm not where the big wheel comes into play, but I'm thinking something like I'm not sure if it's a major or if you have to be a colonel.
Okay.
And but they come in full dress. I mean, with the Stars Spangled Banner insignias on themselves and everything that they ever had. They outrank the judge and everybody in there.
Yeah, and so the question is, what kind of training do they get, or can we provide, or can we help marshal, and then what can they do in a practical way to stop the shenanigans? Yeah.
Well, that's one thing they have to do is they have to get a hold of provost marshal, because the provost marshal is supposed to be handling. Your provost marshal is in a position of standing. Now, there is also something else that's come to the table, I found out. The postmaster general is also the other one who's a top-ranking officer.
Yeah, we're working with that in a couple of ways.
There's a sequence to the founding of that, and if the postmaster general does not want to step up and take care of it, there is provisions made in the system where you yourself can be in such a manner, because that's on the civilian side.
Okay, so those are just a few of the insights that I wanted to share with you today. This issue has been thoroughly researched and brought forward in a couple of manuals that have been developed by none other than Mr. Hartford Van Dyke himself, who has been a pioneer in commercial law, in understanding critical issues whereby we can understand what's going on in the world around us, in law, in commerce, and so many issues that affect our daily lives. And Hartford has been a true pioneer and ever so gracious with his time in sharing that and trying to get the word out. As a law club, it's our mission to digest this information, to process it, to put it into proper application. And with this presentation, I'm putting an appeal out to all private attorneys general all American law enforcement. That means you, the American citizen, and especially to all retired military veterans, that we need to come together, we need to understand the power of this information, we need to start applying it, and we need to take back our courts in the process. Having said that, I encourage you to join with us in the American Law Club, and let's put the pedal to the metal, take back our country. With that, God bless and Godspeed. Hope to see you soon.